Hi there, and welcome to Blame It on the Inverts. I'm Sean. We're at Six Flags Great America for the kickoff of ACE's flagship event, CoasterCon. This is the 47th year of CoasterCon, and we're at 3 parks in 6 days. You know, CoasterCon is filled with, of course, tons of rides, but also super special experiences that any roller coaster enthusiast would go absolutely wild for. Like this. That's right. We got to take a behind-the-scenes tour of the original B&M Invert. But before the official start of CoasterCon, we treated ourselves to a day riding some Wisconsin woodies, starting with Zippin' Pippin at Bay Beach Amusement Park, right off the shores of Lake Michigan in Green Bay. Zippin' Pippin is a replica of what was reportedly Elvis's favorite coaster from Libertyland in Memphis, Tennessee. We loved our rides on Zippin' Pippin, and after 4 laps, it was time to head to the Wisconsin Dells and Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus has 4 wooden roller coasters and a steel kiddie coaster that they reserve for the smaller riders. Pegasus is the family wooden coaster with plenty of lateral Gs and lots of enjoyable moments. The 3 big woodies have layouts that interact with each other, which can make each ride super fun. Zeus has a great out and back layout that runs by the park's entrance. And Cyclops has a second drop even better than the first. The thing about Mount Olympus's coasters is that they ride very rough, especially their biggest coaster, Hades 360. Hades has a fantastic layout that dives under the parking lot with a few turns before you emerge into a corkscrew and a quick turnaround before diving back into the parking lot tunnel to make your way back. It would be great to see some TLC given to these coasters because the potential for some amazing woodies is definitely there. The first day of CoasterCon 47 didn't have many scheduled activities, so we casually enjoyed the park, starting with a brand new coaster for 2025, Wrath of Rakshasa, a B&M dive coaster. Wrath of Rakshasa has a great first drop, and the rest of its course is filled with inversions, turns, and a layout with lots of pathways underneath to watch. We made our way around the park, grabbing a ride on X-Flight, a B&M wing coaster that wraps all around itself and has a great keyhole moment. Followed by a spin on the Intamin Impulse coaster, the Flash, Vertical Velocity. National ACE events typically include a buffet-style meal each day, and on day one we had dinner in the park's Picnic Grove area. Then it was back to the coasters, and we headed towards the front of the park for Whizzer, a classic ACE landmark Schwarzkopf coaster, and Viper, a clone of the Coney Island Cyclone. After that, it was time for our first session of Exclusive Ride Time, or ERT. We spent our time getting many laps on both Raging Bull, the park's fantastic B&M Hyper Twister coaster, and Goliath, made by RMC, with a compact layout that really packs a punch. We also had time for a night ride on Sky Striker, which was an unexpected highlight of CoasterCon. The way the park is lit up at night while you're swinging on one of the highest pendulums in the world is something everyone should experience. Early on day 2 was our first behind-the-scenes tour. We had a choice of Raging Bull or Batman, and you know I had to see the original B&M Invert up close and personal. We got to wander the infield, the station, and the brake run, which was such a perfect start to the day. Our ERT on day 2 was on Demon, an Aero Looper, and Max Force, an S&S launched roller coaster. The highlight of day 2 was American Eagle, the park's racing wooden coaster by Intamin, receiving its ACE Landmark Roller Coaster plaque. Watching the ceremony was so much fun, and we had to take a spin on the newest ACE Landmark coaster.
I have some friends joining me for CoasterCon. You might remember Derek. He was from the Europe trip in spring, and we've got Devin and Callie who danced on one of those cruise ship contracts I was telling you about in Barcelona. We just got our first ride on American Eagle as an ACE Landmark roller coaster. How'd you guys like that ride?
Loved it. It's a classic.
Oh, it's such a classic, and it's riding so well. It kept such great care of it, and you know, I think it's so well deserving of that ACE Landmark roller coaster status. Do you guys have a favorite side, red or blue?
Blue's my favorite.
Blue?
Red.
Red?
Yep.
Blue.
Blue. You know, I think mine is red, so I think it's an even 50-50 split. Awesome. You guys want to go grab another ride?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Bye.
Another annual event for CoasterCon took place on day 2 at the water park, the Rubber Ducky Regatta. Attendees can purchase a duck to enter in the race, and the first ducks around the lazy river win prizes. For evening ERT, we took a spin on Superman, the B&M Flyer, and a ride on the unique flat ride Condor. Then it was time to close out the day at Max Force. Day 3 started early with our second behind-the-scenes tour of Wrath of Rakshasa. Followed by more ERT on Raging Bull and Ricochet. After grabbing a ride on Joker, the S&S 4D free spin, we took in some of the other attractions the park has to offer.
By now you know that I love B&M invert roller coasters. That love doesn't just stop at those inverts though. It pours over into every single B&M roller coaster. They're just so much fun. They're just smooth. I love the aesthetic of them. I'll always go out of my way to ride a B&M if there's one at a park. Now this station you see behind me is currently being used by Goliath. Now Goliath of course was made by RMC, which is short for Rocky Mountain Construction, located in Idaho. However, this station has been used by previous roller coasters. The one right before it was Iron Wolf, which happened to be the very first B&M roller coaster ever built. While that roller coaster is no longer here, it actually lives now at Six Flags America, which you might recognize from a few episodes ago. That roller coaster Firebird is the old Iron Wolf. Now, there's even more history with this station. Before Iron Wolf was here, Intamin had one of their prototype roller coasters here. It was a space diver called Z-Force. Now, Z-Force was only here for a couple of years. However, the trains on Z-Force look very similar to the trains you're used to seeing on B&M roller coasters, with the 4 seats across. Now, Z-Force was relocated to Six Flags Over Georgia after this, and then after that, it was moved to Six Flags Magic Mountain, where I got my first rides on it. With all of the B&M history here at Six Flags Great America, I'm always happy to pay a visit to this park with such a rich history of my favorite roller coaster manufacturer.
The final ERT session included a handful of rides, but we all lapped our favorites, which for Derek was Goliath. And for the rest of us was Batman, of course.
Six Flags Great America is actually home to the very first B&M Invert. So being a self-professed B&M Invert guy, I'm so always incredibly happy to be here. You know, Batman opened in 1992, and the GM of the park at the time actually had a hand in helping design this model. That's wild! And not even that, another fun side fact, Batman was the fastest roller coaster to achieve ACE landmark status. It achieved that in June of 2005. That's 13 years after the coaster opened. So if you ever find yourself in the Chicago area, head on over to Six Flags Great America and catch a ride on the OG Invert Batman. That does it for our 3 days here at Six Flags Great America. Did you guys have a great time?
Of course we did.
Oh, it was so much fun. And we still have 2 more parks ahead of us. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And thank you guys so much for joining me. It was so much fun sharing this park with you. Derek, did you have a favorite ride here at the park?
Goliath's been my favorite ride since I've been here, since I visited in 2022, so it hasn't changed, but Raging Bull's a very close second in my opinion.
Excellent, both great choices. Callie, do you have a favorite?
Hands down, X-Flight, no question.
Ooh, also a great one. How about you, Dev?
My favorite's Bull.
Raging Bull. You know, I think I'd have to go with Raging Bull as my favorite too. But there's so many great roller coasters here, and there's so many. What an amazing park. And we still have 2 more to go. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.